Good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining us here at the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living meditation this morning. I am Julie Matheson, a practitioner here at the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. And if you are here for the meditation this morning, you're in the exact right place. What a joy it is every Sunday morning at this time that we come together to just to breathe and to be still and just to calm our minds for a minute and call back all of our energies that might have gotten scattered in the week behind us. And so let's just take a moment and start to breathe together and start to breathe and calm our minds. And go ahead and take a deep breath. Really deep. Really feel it. I always say, it's okay that you can hear somebody breathing. It's okay if we take up space and really breathe. So that's what we're doing this morning. We're just calming our minds. This is our time. Let's take a moment to remember there is always peace in a deeper, neutral place within us. Now go ahead and take another deep breath. But this time, let it out really slowly, like and let's just tune into our body for a second now. Just notice how it feels. How'd you sleep last night? Just feel the support of your seating. Is there any place that you're clenching that you can just release and just let that energy go a little bit? And another deep breath. It's okay to make sound. It's okay to be full of peace and air and breath. And maybe your eyes are closed. And so just imagine anything that might have gotten scattered, just call back your calm on your in-breath. I'm calling back my calm. And another deep breath, and I'm calling back my strength. And I'm calling back my peace. I see clients throughout the week, and every week I notice a theme of what I'm seeing coming in. And maybe the issues are different person to person, but there'll be something that stands out to me that is similar. And this week it was the question, how aware is the person in front of me that they really can choose peace? Like it really, even in the most stressful situations, I really believe it's a skill worth working at and practicing. So just taking in another deep breath. Letting that breath really nurture you. Restoring your sense of your whole self. Calling back all of your power, all of your strength, to its rightful place in your center. So in our philosophy, we believe and practice that the most powerful moment is the present moment. That's why we say affirmations in the present tense. That's why we pray in the present tense. We teach that whatever we focus on, that's where the energy will go. And so the present tense statement I'd like to meditate on this morning is, in this moment, all is well. In the stillness right now, all is well. Nothing bad is happening in this moment right now. We're just breathing. We're just breathing together. There might be things going on you need to deal with, and you will. And you'll know what to do when the time comes. And right now, in this moment, all is well. We have so much control over our thinking and our attitudes. Way more than we maybe give ourselves credit for. So let's take another deep breath together. Breathing back all your power. All of your wonderful focus and calm. In this moment, all is well. Please join me for a few moments of silence as we imagine having this phrase be an automatic response to the stresses in our lives. And I'll come back in a few minutes. And now, coming back and continuing to consciously breathe together, tapping into your powerful breath. It's always there. If only we remember to use it and enjoy it, let it calm us. Your powerful calm is always right there. And another deep breath together. And release it slowly and fully. In this moment, all is well. In this moment, all is well. You are smart and calm and resourceful and know what to do. In this moment, all is well. And let's close with our affirmation for the day. Whenever I need to, I choose to stop, find my center, and remind myself that right now, in this moment, all is well. I choose peace. I choose love. I choose calm. I do my life with love. I love my life. Thank you for joining us for this morning's meditation. Service will begin at 10:30 Eastern. Have a beautiful, beautiful, peaceful day.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Tu es l'image de Dieu. I hold you in my heart. Tu es l'image de l'amour. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Tu sei la luce di Dio. I I hold you in my heart. Tu sei il volto dell'amore. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of God. The face of God. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are a part of me. A part of me. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God. Eres la luz de Dios. I hold you in my heart. Eres la cara del amor. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face. Tu sei la luce di Dio. You are the face. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. L'image de Dieu. You are the face. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. La luz de Dios. You are the face. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Tu es l'image de Dieu. I hold you in my heart. Tu es l'image de l'amour. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Tu sei la luce di Dio. I hold you in my heart. Tu sei il volto dell'amore. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are the face of God, the face of God. I hold you in my heart, you in my heart. You are a part of me, a part of me. You are the face of God, the face of God. You are the face of God. Eres la luz de Dios. I hold you in my heart. Eres la cara del amor. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. 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 La luce di Dio. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God. L'image de Dieu. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God. La luz de Dios. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God. You are the You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Tu es l'image de Dieu. I hold you in my heart. Tu es l'image de l'amour. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Tu sei la luce di Dio. I hold you in my heart. Tu sei il volto dell'amore. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of God. The face of God. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are a part of me. A part of me. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God. Eres la luz de Dios. I hold you in my heart. Eres la cara del amor. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
Good morning, and welcome to the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Joni Bauman, practitioner, and I'll be giving you the announcements today. Everyone is invited to the Zoom room for Sunday celebration, and our services are also being live streamed to our YouTube channel at Columbus CSL. Please feel free to share our service from our YouTube channel to your own Facebook page. For everyone on Zoom today, please turn on your videos so we can see each other, and keep yourself muted. Thank you. We are holding hybrid services this summer. We have 2 Sundays where we meet in person per month, and the other Sundays we meet virtually on Zoom. After today, we will have just one more Sunday on Zoom, September 26th. In October, our plans are to meet in person going forward through the rest of the year. Of course, we will be monitoring all the COVID-19 mandates to keep us all safe. Be sure to save your CCSL e-newsletter for our schedule for September. Thank you to everyone who brought in donations last week for our community outreach opportunity with Justice, Unity, and Social Transformation. We're asking you to join us as we volunteer to gather donated items and support JUST with the distribution of gifts to the Hilltop community at an event this fall. The box will be at the center to collect donations when we meet in person. There were food items, there were clothes, there was soap, great variety. So anything that you're willing to share, please bring it in. Our own Matthew Vidal will lead the CCSL effort by organizing volunteers and managing the logistics of donations. If serving the Columbus community calls to you, please reach out to Matt at matthew.vidal, V-I-D-A-L, @gmail.com for more details. We're so excited to share our upcoming October celebrations when we return to our in-person services. On October 3rd, we will have our grand homecoming celebration. We'd love to see you there. We're going to have a ritual to celebrate our return to full-time in-person community celebrations. On October 10th, we're really excited to announce that the internationally known team of Melissa and Z will be our guest speakers and our featured musicians. Look for more information on their Oh My God Love workshop offering in an upcoming CCSL e-newsletter. Melissa and Z's visit is sponsored by Lotus Flower Living Holistic Counseling, owned by one of our own practitioners, Julie Matheson. So thank you, Julie, so much for that. If you have a suggestion or comments or feedback, please email us at ccslsuggestionbox@gmail.com. As always, if you would like prayer after service or any time throughout the week, you can find our prayer practitioners on our website, columbuscsl.org, or you can submit a prayer request on our Facebook page. Our practitioners love to pray. That's the news for today. Please join us in singing our opening song, Unbound by Gary Lynn Floyd.
Open your mind, unfold your heart, relax your senses, and feel every part. You ain't got a thing to fear. Looks like love is growing here. So take your guard and let it down. Go deeper still until you come unwound. Unbound, yeah. Breathe every breath out, yeah. Release your cringe. Love without waiting, slowly unhinge, yeah. You ain't got a thing to fear. It looks like love is growing here. So take your guard and let it down. Go deeper still until you come unwound, yeah. Unbound. You can stop waiting for love to find you. Look inside your heart. Love's already who you are, yeah, who you are already, yeah. So lift up your voice, oh, lift it up now, and let it be heard, let it be heard, and tell me your story, tell it to me, don't leave out a word, not a word, no, 'cause I think I have been there too. I'm a seeker just like you, and you ain't got a thing to fear. Looks like love's growing here. So take your guard and let it down. Go deeper still until you come unwound, unwound, yeah. Unbound, yeah. Lay it down, lay it down, lay it down, down, unbound, yeah. Open your mind and unfold your heart, yeah.
Good morning. Welcome to the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Reverend Amy Papadoupoulos, and it is my honor to welcome you and to be here with you this morning. Let me get to where I was going here. We are an inclusive organization here at Columbus Center for Spiritual Living, or CCSL. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, however you identify, whoever you are welcome, honored, and celebrated here at Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. I keep wanting to say Columbus Center for CCSL. So thank you for joining us this morning on our Zoom link, or if you're watching on the YouTube channel, thank you for watching us this morning at Columbus CSL. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so now, and remember to give it a thumbs up and to ring the bell. So as many of you know, we are actively searching for our next senior minister. And in order to bring about our next senior minister, a group of us got together when we first started this process and did a whole day of visioning and of working together to create a sacred prayer and a sacred covenant, which is about which we put into one. And this sacred prayer covenant is something that we use here at CCSL to create a consciousness that will attract our next senior minister. So at the beginning of all of our services, we always say this sacred prayer covenant we always say it together. So I'm going to invite you, if you would like to, say it out loud with me, or if it works better for you, if you choose to close your eyes and follow along with me as I speak our prayer. I know Spirit expresses itself in each person as one perfect life, that is God's life. I recognize God is gracious, loving, abundant, and wise. And these qualities of Spirit are my qualities, as well as the qualities of the whole Columbus Center for Spiritual Living community. I know the power of affirmative prayer, and I claim by faith and mindful action that Spirit now guides our new senior minister to CCSL. I claim my new minister as a revelation of God as wholeness. I see our chairs filled with people and families who are attracted and inspired to the science of mind and spirit, and our new minister inspiring us to be our best expression of spirit from within. I affirm now our new minister helps CCSL grow and prosper, knowing that God resides in each of us and that we are co-creating with Spirit to fulfill our mission of making the world a place that works for everyone. I am thankful our prayers and affirmations bring this new minister to CCSL. I am grateful that we are building a strong and loving community of people who embrace love, wisdom, and the freedom to be a wise and loving expression of the One. I release this community prayer into the law, knowing that it is already done. And so it is. And now, please read along with me our mission statement. We serve the transformation of individual lives through education, spiritual practice, and deep community, using spirit and science of mind principles as our compass. And I'd like to thank practitioner Julie Matheson for the meditation this morning. Thank you, Julie. She is now holding virtual high watch for our service today. And that is just a place where we can go deeper within consciousness to hear not only with our ears, but also with our minds and our hearts, the message today. And I'd like to reintroduce the practitioner of the day, Joni Bauman. Joni.
With the ringing of the bowl, we begin our sacred service. I would like to introduce our community member, Mac Ware, who will be giving us the reading this morning. Mac?
Good morning. This is a reading from the book of Living and Teaching, A Course in Miracles from page 95. Awareness, or transcendence, brings something of another dimension to the three-dimensional human being. In this awareness, there is wholeness. In this awareness, there is totality. Awareness is of one life, one God.
Thank you, Mac. And now let's take a moment of silence together. And as we contemplate wholeness and the words that Julie shared in the meditation, all is well, I am conscious of Spirit's presence here today and every day. Spirit is all healing, all wholeness, all perfection, all power, and all is well. This inner power of life is within me, within all of us, to make a perfect whole. There can be no separation, and so this living, breathing power continues to beat within our hearts and bless us all. And I claim that this healing, wholeness, perfection, this spirit reveals itself to us and provides a renewal of our minds, our bodies, and our spirit within. And I declare that we are receptive to our truth, to this energizing force that knows no bounds, is alive in all of us, and opens our eyes to the perfection of who we are, manifestations of the one sharing in the divine intelligence of the universe. And I know this service is a healing, an opportunity for us to accept the love that permeates our center and flows through each of us. The realization of this life and love in turn heals all who come into our presence. And I know this service is in divine order, perfect and blessed, lifting us up within the power and wholeness of the one. I release this into the law, knowing that it is already done, and with a grateful heart for this powerful and infinite presence, please join me in saying, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Joni. So it's my pleasure and my honor to introduce our guest speaker this morning. Her name is Amanda Pope. She is a licensed religious science practitioner. She is the executive director at the Center for Spiritual Living, Kelowna in British Columbia, Canada. She's been a licensed practitioner since 2012, and she is completing her last year in ministerial training with the Centers for Spiritual Living, which, as we just saw Margie do go like this, that is a huge accomplishment. Having been there and done that, good for you. Amanda is an adult educator who specializes in fostering equity and inclusion. She's a dynamic speaker who shares practical tools for personal transformation and in an engaging and entertaining manner. So if you're on Zoom, this is what I used to do when we were in school. Please help me welcome practitioner Amanda Pope by going like this.
Good morning. I am delighted to be with you this morning and to share the message about transcending and including. I think it is timely for this message. It is certainly timely in my life, and I hope for you and your community, it resonates as well. So I admitted to the team this morning that I actually don't know where Columbus is. I can't actually point to it on a map. So, when I knew I was going to be speaking, I thought, it really, as an educator, it's really important. One of the principles of adult education is that you honor and include the experiences of the people you are speaking to. So I thought, how am I going to do that? Well, actually, in this time, for better or for worse, we are in a place where there is a collective experience, and we are going through a global pandemic, which means that every part of the globe is affected by this. And that has created, if we ever needed evidence of our interconnectedness, this is it. And what it has created is a collective experience. So I think as I share today, there is a good chance that you are having some sort of a similar experience where you are as well. So the other thing I noticed about your community is first, what a beautiful and warm and welcoming space this is. And I'm going to speak about liminal times today. And knowing that you are in the moments where you're about to be back in person all the time and that you are candidating for a senior minister, I think that this time of you are in a time of liminality that that hopefully this message really sort of helps ground you in this very unusual and often uncomfortable space. So I'm actually reading a phenomenal book by a woman named Susan Beaumont, and she writes a book called How to Lead When You Don't Know Where You're Going. And it is the subtitle is Leading in a Liminal Season. Now, so Susan Beaumont is actually a church leadership expert, and she wrote this book remarkably before the pandemic. And interestingly, she said in her book, I think churches, certainly spiritual communities, are in a liminal time. And I thought, man, she knew something ahead of her time. So the book is really phenomenal. So I'm going to talk about what is a liminal space. So a liminal time is when we have left something, whether we've chosen to leave it or not, and we have not yet gone into our new experience. So we're in what I like to call the messy middle, because it is a time of change. It happens in 3 stages. First, we start with an ending. Something ends. And I'm gonna take a guess that for all of us, March of last year, our world as we knew it, our lives as we were in the comfort of our routines ended. Things changed. We got into a liminal time. And if you're like me at all, you've been waiting for okay, let's just get back to normal. Let's move on with our lives. What I'm finding is that this liminal time, do you remember when it was like, we're just going to lock things down for a couple of months, then everything will be fine? It's lasted a really long time. So a liminal time, actually, Susan Beaumont, she describes it as a dangerous, alluring, and sacred time. Dangerous because we leave something that was familiar. We step into an unknown. We often can't even see what is the new. And we're in this place where sort of all of our stability and our comfort is really taken away. So all of the things that we relied on out there are gone. And now there's a sort of a discomfort and really a need to look inward for a stability. So in that liminal time, I know for myself, certainly, I'm a doer. So I'm like, okay, tell me the problem. Let's problem solve this. And I am going to fix it. And sadly, though I spent a lot of effort trying, I can't fix this. This is a liminal time. And so then Susan Beaumont talks about, getting to the new, once we reemerge into something new, is not on our schedule. It is on Spirit's schedule. There is a greater plan in place, as we know, and that is unfolding in divine perfection. Now we are co-creating with that oneness and that wholeness. And what we are doing is now we're in that space of in between, the messy middle, the liminal space. So People there's a certain tolerance we have to liminality. And we can, if we are moving houses or changing jobs or changing relationships, often we will experience some stress. There's the sort of, we go through the grieving of the old and we step into the new, and it's a bit unsettling. But we can usually, when there's one of those things happening, we can usually manage that fairly well. If our spiritual community is changing a little bit, if there's a new senior minister that will be coming in, that can be a change that really so it has an effect on the people within the community, because the culture will change a little bit, and there's often a lot of unknowns. So but again, if the rest of our lives are stable, then often that's something that we go, I felt a little uncomfortable. It's taking me a little bit of time, but I can manage that. What is happening now, certainly in my experience, and maybe this is true for you as well, is I have personal liminality. I have things that have changed, and the change didn't look like I thought it would, or I'm not at the new place. We have in our community and our society, we have the liminality. And it's bigger than the global pandemic, isn't it? I mean, we have a climate crisis. We have a lot of things going on in the world. There is a real sort of coming to awareness of racial injustice. Like, there is a lot going on. Yesterday was the 20th anniversary from 9/11, right? So we have these, and even that, I know for myself, that brought back the just how significant that was and how the world really changed at that point. So all of that is all around us all the time, and we're in this liminal place. And so for myself, if I can't control and fix, what I do is even unconsciously, I resist. I just want it to stop. I want it to go away. I want it to be over. I want the new. I actually am a person who loves change, but it's like, let's get there and get in it and get used to it. So what, and what I'm going to tell you is, I don't think that's working. It's not working for me. I know that for myself, I've reached this sort of place of fatigue. Like, I'm tired. I just want something I can hang my hat on, that is, I can count on. Things change day to day right now. And I'm finding that is tiring, and I am low on patience, and my stress level is higher. And those are all the very, very normal experiences that people have when they're in that liminal state and when they've reached the edge of their liminal tolerance. So in that time where that stress happens, and there are a lot of things that people do. We often have that just sort of resistance, but this is also a time where we look either to blame somebody or a group of somebody's, or we look for a savior. There are a lot of people that have sort of bought into conspiracy theories. Like, that's why that happens, is that we're in this place of liminal. I feel so uncomfortable. I can't stand it. So I'm looking for a thing. So to an outside person, it may seem so irrational, but it is actually a very sort of self-soothing response to an uncomfortable time. So in our community, I'll just give you a really brief, what's happening in this moment in our community related to the pandemic is, we've got the Delta variant. We're in the fourth wave. We're planning everything was going to open up, and then now we've had to sort of walk that back. And the government has now brought in, the provincial government has brought in, which starts tomorrow, what they call a vaccine passport. So you actually have to show proof of a vaccine to get into a lot of spaces. About probably 75 to 85% of our population is vaccinated, but there are a small group of people who are very, very resistant. They don't want to be told what to do. They don't believe in this, and they are angry. And what has happened is, as we're right on the cusp of this coming into effect, the vaccine passport, is that there have been protests. And what's happened is, our healthcare system is stressed pretty much to its limit. And now the protesters are at the hospital. So the healthcare staff, who are at the end of their rope already, are now having people yell and scream at them as they leave, coming in. And I mean, it is heartbreaking. It is a really uncomfortable. This is what I think is we've sort of broken through our liminal tolerance, and now people are acting out that angst and that tension and that uncertainty inside. They are acting out in that way where they're looking for some relief. So who can I lash out at? And honestly, I mean, there have been times where I want to put something insulting on a sign and go and wave it. And somebody threw gravel at our prime minister the other day. Like, I want to throw gravel at a politician sometimes, like that. I feel that. So but what I see is this is not the way out. We cannot put the people who don't want to be vaccinated on a bus and send them somewhere else. They can't put people who are vaccinated on a bus and send them somewhere else. We are all in this together. And we're all in this liminal time. We're all tired of it. And we are naturally looking for a salve that we can put on to calm all of the feelings associated. So I absolutely loved Julie's meditation this morning. I thought it was so perfect. Her in this moment, all is well. Like that, as the structures around us are really sort of everything familiar, everything stable is sort of falling apart, or in the world of effect falling apart. What we know from the absolute perspective is there is a divine unfolding that actually is for the in service of the greater good. But what it looks like right now, certainly in my community, is that it is falling apart. So what we're called to do is we need to find the inner stability. So I loved the meditation where she said, I can choose peace. I can call, and she said, I'm calling back my calm. I'm calling back my strength. I'm calling back my peace. That's exactly in this liminal time. If we can and sometimes I have to do it moment to moment. I'm listening to the news, or I've just heard the news, or I'm driving past a protest, and I'm in my car and I have to think, in this moment, there is nothing that needs to be fixed. I am well, I'm fed, I am in a car that is driving me to my destination. I have good people in my life. It is okay in this moment. And sometimes we have to just bring it right down to the micro, to that level, to calm that angst of the liminal space. Because as we say, it is in spirit's timing that we get to the new. And I see that, I wasn't sure how to describe the stages, the 3 stages of the end, the liminal space, and then the ready for the new. And I thought actually your ministerial search is a great example of getting ready. You as a community are doing the work. I watched a few of your services and I was just blown away. I thought, wow, how fantastic that you've set an intention. You're doing that prayer together, and that I would guess you're kind of getting to that. You're on the sort of far end of the liminal in that, and you're at that place of almost ready for the new. And in that newness and that readiness, there is also what can happen is some of those anxieties can come up again, because as weird as it sounds, we end up kind of comfortable in the liminal place. So again, when we get bumped into the new, some of those sort of old anxieties can resurface. And so there may be some of that as you as a community move forward. So in our liminal time, certainly with the global pandemic, I thought we were going to be all done with this fall. And clearly it is not on Amanda Pope's plan, right? It is on Spirit's timing. So Susan Beaumont, what she talks about is what is called for in this time is that we need to have an open mind, an open heart, and an open will. And so the open mind is where we have to be open to possibility. We have to be able to suspend judgment. Because what she said is when we're in this liminal place, what happens is the voices in our head start. The 3 voices that actually shut down our openness are the voice of judgment, the voice of cynicism, and the voice of fear. Now, I don't know about you, but I have had all of those voices. In that time of stress, we kind of, where we could see possibility before, we sort of lock down into there is black and there is white, there is right and there is wrong, there is We're no longer, we are in a self-preservation mode. So if I don't agree with you, you are a bad person, not, oh, we can find common ground here. We're locked into this place. So we have to be able to release that voice of judgment in order to get to the open mind. Open mind is where we see possibility. And part of the liminality, part of that alluring part of the liminality is that we can experiment. It actually is a time of creativity. It's okay, well, everything's gone that we were all used to, so maybe we can try something new. So there is that sort of lovely place of experimentation, but it requires the quieting of the voice of judgment. And it really, for me right now, what I'm seeing in our community and even experiencing in myself is I have to remind myself that we are just looking, we actually have the same values, we're just looking from different angles. I heard a woman who specializes in conflict de-escalation, and she was talking about this sort of anti-vaxxers and people who think everyone should be vaccinated and it should be mandated. And what she said is, if you can dig down, I was going to say dig down, but I think it's actually transcend above. It is what you get to is they have the same values. Somebody who is vaccinated wants to be safe and they want to be free. They want to get back to their lives. Somebody who does not want a vaccine has some concerns about it, has some beliefs about it, that they think it is not safe for them and it is impeding on their freedom. So we actually want the same things, even though we're screaming at each other across the street. So that if we can release that judgment, and I mean, I know in my head, I'm still like, yeah, but you're wrong. So it really takes a practice, right? Where we release that judgment. The open heart that we need, what happens is in this time, we get that voice of cynicism. And again, with the just assuming the worst in somebody. If you are not vaccinated, that means you're this, this, and this. If you are vaccinated, that means you're this, this, and this. We're assuming the worst. So we really have to go back, and in our principles, we go back to there is spirit. There is one spirit, and that spirit is in every person. And I actually went on and watched a very, very radical and very loud and very angry person who actually does a church service in my community. And I spent the time and I looked at him and I thought, spirit is in him. His beliefs are totally different than mine, and it is coming out in a way that I find really offensive. But spirit is in him, speaking through him at his level of awareness right now. And that is that place where I can soften, where my heart can open. And then the third one is the open will. Now that is the part of us that, or certainly me, that wants to problem solve. I've got the solution. If we just all do this, we get together, we, set this intention, it will be fixed. If you just listen to me, I got the answer. So we have that is our voice of fear. Our voice of fear says, this feels terrible. I feel like I'm going to die. So let's fix this. But again, it is us forcing what we know we cannot force. We are in a liminal space. Spirit will provide. Spirit is unfolding in absolute perfection, but it is not on Amanda Pope timeline or Amanda Pope agenda. It is on Spirit's time. So again, going to that, a beautiful meditation and the in this moment, all is well, allows me to understand that this is a very, very real reaction I'm experiencing. Marianne Williamson says the healer has to look at the wound. We are not, I know we are teaching that we say we put our focus on what we want, but we do not deny what I feel in those moments is real. It is not real with a capital R. It is not the spiritual truth, but it is real for me. And so having that compassion for myself, building that compassion for others, and just living in curiosity, allowing that open will, that is what gets us through. And you know what? Right now, it might be a meditation. It could be a tub of soft serve and Netflix. And those are kind of all okay. Like we are in, I just think we all need to just stop and take a deep breath together and go, yes, this is a hard time. And what we also know is that there is a spiritual principle that never, ever changes. There is a law of mind that is exacting. So, what is happening right now is actually an intention we have set collectively, and it is unfolding. And what we know is when we set an intention, spirit will move mountains to bring that into being. So spirit will unearth everything that is not aligned with us to allow us to release it. And I think on a global level, that is what's happening. So we actually, as hard as it is sometimes to see it, we're in the right place. The intention has been set. Spirit is unfolding. It looks like a complete mess to me in this moment from my perspective. But if I turn in, if I can just stay in this moment, all is well. If I can trust, keep my heart open, my mind open, and my will open to possibility, that I know that we get to that emergence place. And we can almost feel that emergence place if we just sort of focus in on ourselves, and we can feel it before it's even here. So that is what I just want to share with you today. I love that we started with that meditation. When it comes to transcending and including, what I want to say is how you're feeling right now, how you are experiencing this or any other challenge in your life. Resisting is not the answer. Resisting doesn't fix. Including that in your experience, recognizing it is a real experience in the world of effect, and then transcending above, if only in the moment, for knowing that it's all is well, for remembering that there is a divine plan. And that is what this spiritual community is for. We're here to remind each other of our truth. When I can't remember it, I need you to tell me all is well in this moment. I need you to say, take a breath. As you all walk together and you've created this beautiful foundation and you welcome in your new senior minister, you're here to remind each other this is spirit in action right here for us right now, even though we might feel a certain way about it, anxious about it. So that's what I want to share to you today. I just think this time is about transcending and including. We are having this experience, and there is a spiritual truth that transcends it all. And we have access to all of it, and we can support each other in that. So it's been such a delight to be with you today. And I'd love to just ground that in a very quick sort of moment of breathing together. So here's what I know. There is spirit and absolutely nothing else. That one power is in, as, and through me and all. Knowing that interconnectedness of life is an infinite intelligence at work in all things, in all ways. And so I simply surrender to that place. I simply include and allow my feelings. I am gentle with myself and others as I accept this moment and I recognize the divine truth. I give such grateful thanks, knowing that I am blessed, knowing that God is good. I simply release my word, knowing it is done. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Amanda. What a fantastic idea and a fantastic talk. Lots of good things that it's like this was the perfect talk for our center right now, because we're right in the middle of that not luminosity, but maybe liminal. So thank you. And also to include the pandemic and where we are in that is perfectly and very timely. Thank you. Glad you were here with us today. So now it is the time for the giving of our gifts. Thank you for all of the ways that you are continuing to support and give to our center, especially during these times of pandemic and unknown, and our next senior minister on their way. So thank you. Thank you for all of the ways that you continue to do that. And it's important for all of us to continue to give. It's important for all of us to continue to meet with our pledges, because our pledges are how we balance our budget. And you're always welcome to change your pledge, up it, lower it, change it. Just let us know, be transparent with us, because that way it helps us know what we have to work with. So, and that's important, because ultimately what we're doing here is we are looking to fulfill our vision statement of a world that works for everyone. And we know that God is our source, that we are simply circulating spirit's energy in the form of money by stepping into that law of giving and receiving. There are lots of different ways to give to our center. You can text to give at 614-681-8616. You can go to our website, which is what I like to do, which is www.columbuscsl.org. And there is a PayPal button right at the top. You can also mail your donations to CCSL Post Box, PO Box 14462, and that's Columbus, Ohio 43214. And for those of you who don't know where Columbus is, it's the heart of it all. And you can also set up pay through your bank, so you can have an automatic payment. I know lots of people do that as well. That's an easy one. If you need help or more information on any of this, you can contact the office. You can call us on the phone. We'll get back to you if we're not in, or you can send us a private Facebook message. So if you have already given, I invite you to take your hands, your fingers that have made the giving possible. If you haven't given yet, take your hands, your fingers that eventually will give. And if you'd like to, take a moment, put your hands over your hearts. Breathe into that space where you know that that God is our source. We cannot outgive God. We just open up and receive the abundance that is ours as our birthright. And from this place, please say with me our affirmation. My gift goes forth to heal and bless and prosper. It does its good and perfect work and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. So please enjoy our giving song, which is me. Just one moment here, please.
When I dive into a deeper field of energy, when I have no eyes to see what lies ahead of me, I will be one with a vibration where boundless joy breeds wild elation. When I dive into a deeper field of energy, when I have exhausted human physicality, I will embrace my resurrection as I move through a new dimension. Don't you worry, don't you fret. Trust me, I got no regret at all. Into space and out of time, I find my wings and learn to fly from a free fall. When I dive into a deeper field of energy,
When to leave my body has become what's best for me, I will feel from a fresh perception what I have known since my inception.
So don't you worry, don't you fret. Trust me, I got no regret at all. Into space and out of time, I find my wings and learn to fly from the free fall.
When I dive into a deeper field of energy, when I dive into a deeper field of energy, when I dive into a deeper field of energy, when I dive into a deeper field of energy.
So don't you worry, don't you fret. Trust me, I got no regret at all. Into space and out of time, I find my wings and learn to fly from the free fall.
When I dive into a deeper field of energy. Thank you.
So thank you. Thank you for watching that. Joni, are you ready? You're on mute.
Here we go. So I am so grateful for all the synchronicities that we're experiencing today through the meditation, the talk, the prayers, all who contribute to this wonderful service, ensuring that we have a loving and caring atmosphere in which to be in community. And I know that the gifts presented here are given and received with love, joy, and a sense of abundance of infinite source. Thankful that we are all one, and for the many gifts we bring, I let it go, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Joni. And speaking of thank yous, let's thank Julie Matheson for her meditation this morning and for holding virtual High Watch. And also thank you, Joni Bauman, for being the practitioner today on the platform with us. Thank you, Mac Ware, for the reading. And a big thank you to Amanda Pope for her talk today. Like Joni said in her prayer, the synchronicity was so cool and so fun. We'd also like to thank our tech team, Jay Westfall for doing the slides. I'd like to thank myself for playing the videos. Thank you, Jim Hetzer, for doing the YouTube moderating. Special thanks to Gary Lynn Floyd and Jamie Lula for sharing their music with us today. And thank you all that are here today with us, whether you're watching on Zoom or whether you're watching on YouTube. We are glad you are here, glad you tuned in. Hope you got what you were looking for. Also, thank you if you watch later on. If you are joining us for the very first time today, we welcome you. We are glad you are here this morning, or like I said, if you're watching later on. If you'd like more information about who we are or what we practice, the philosophy of science and mind, we would love to send you a packet in the mail. If you would like to receive our welcome packet, a couple different ways you can do that. You can call the office and request one of those, or you can also send us a private Facebook message and we will get one of those into the mail for you. So that is our service for today. We are, like, again, I said, we are so glad that you are here. We're so glad that we're still able to come together on Zoom or on YouTube. It is just absolutely wonderful to start off the day and start off our week this way. So please say our blessing with me. As Jay pulls up that slide, I think she is here. There we go. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. And so it is. And please enjoy our closing song, which is One Big Family by Gary Lynn Floyd and Jamie Lula.
Sing it if you know it. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Sing it. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 everybody. You